There comes a moment in every seeker's journey when the life they have known begins to feel like a shadow of its potential. You may notice it subtly at first, a restlessness that cannot be ignored, a quiet dissatisfaction with the patterns you have repeated for years, or a lingering sense that something essential is missing. This is not a random feeling. It is the whisper of your soul reminding you that the old timeline, the version of reality you have been living, is coming to its natural conclusion. The universe is inviting you to step into a new chapter, one that aligns more deeply with who you truly are. The old timeline is familiar. It is built on habits, beliefs, and expectations that once served you but now act as chains. Perhaps it is the relentless self-doubt that keeps you small, or the patterns of fear and scarcity that repeat in your relationships, finances, or career. These are not your enemies, they are signposts, guiding you to recognize the boundaries of your current reality. By observing them with compassion, you begin to see the truth. The life you have been living is no longer the life you are meant to inhabit. As you sit quietly, take a moment to breathe and feel into this transition. Sense the subtle shift within you, as if a door has quietly begun to open in the deepest part of your being. It is natural to feel a mixture of anticipation and fear. Change is always accompanied by the unknown, and the old self often resists release because it clings to comfort, familiarity, and predictability. But the truth is that comfort, when it keeps you stagnant, is no longer a sanctuary, it is a cage. The old timeline dies when you awaken to the possibility that there is a version of reality far richer, more aligned, and infinitely more expansive waiting for you. Consider your life as a series of timelines, each one representing a path of choices, thoughts, and energy. The old timeline has carried you to this very moment, teaching you lessons, exposing your limitations, and revealing your hidden strengths. Now, as that timeline approaches its end, you are invited to consciously release it. This is not a forced action or a rushed leap. It is an intentional act of surrender. Surrender does not mean giving up. It means giving over to the wisdom of your higher self, to the intelligence of the universe that always supports your evolution. This is a moment to observe without judgment. Notice the thoughts that arise, the familiar fears of loss, failure, or unworthiness, and acknowledge them as echoes of your old self. Do not resist them. Instead, imagine them as clouds slowly drifting across the sky of your consciousness. You are not these clouds. You are the sky itself, vast, expansive, and unwavering. By recognizing this distinction, you cultivate the awareness necessary to step out of the old timeline and begin to inhabit a space where your true potential can emerge. Emotionally, this transition can feel both exhilarating and daunting. You may experience a sense of grief for the person you have been, even while feeling excitement for who you are becoming. Both are natural. The old self is like a worn coat, you have lived in it for years and letting it go feels vulnerable. Yet underneath lies your radiant, authentic self, waiting for you to step fully into your power and alignment. With every conscious breath, with every moment of mindful presence, you prepare yourself for this metamorphosis. Spiritually, understand that the universe is always guiding you toward alignment. The end of your old timeline is not a punishment or a sign of failure. It is a sacred invitation. It is a signal that your energy has matured, that you have gathered enough lessons, and that your consciousness is ready to expand. Every setback, every challenge, every moment of doubt has brought you to this doorway. And now you are poised to cross the threshold, to leave behind what no longer serves you, and to step into a reality that vibrates at a frequency in harmony with your deepest desires. As you reflect on this, allow yourself to feel a deep sense of gratitude for the old timeline. It carried you, protected you, and taught you. But now it is time to release it with love and reverence. The moment the old timeline dies is not the end. It is the beginning of a life that feels aligned, expansive, and utterly extraordinary. This is your moment, and by embracing it fully, you open the door to a new reality that is waiting, ready to mirror the transformation taking place within you. Once you have begun to sense the fading of the old timeline, the next step is to clearly recognize the patterns and blocks that have kept you tethered to it. Awareness is the cornerstone of transformation. Without seeing where your energy has been invested, without understanding the unconscious choices that have shaped your reality, the shift cannot occur fully. The old timeline is often subtle in its grip. It appears as routine, habit, or the comfort of familiarity, but underneath lies a web of beliefs and fears that quietly dictate your life. These patterns manifest in different ways. Perhaps you notice a recurring cycle of relationships that mirror old wounds, or financial opportunities that never seem to fully materialize. Maybe you feel an internal resistance when you attempt to pursue your true desires, a heavy weight that whispers, "You cannot have this, you are not ready." These are not random experiences. They are reflections of the old self operating through ingrained thought patterns and energy imbalances. Each time you encounter these patterns, the universe presents you with a mirror, offering a chance to observe and learn. It is essential to approach this recognition without judgment. The old timeline was never inherently bad. It served you in countless ways, teaching resilience, patience, and self-awareness. But when your consciousness evolves, the same structures that once protected you begin to feel constraining. You may notice repetitive fears, old habits that no longer support growth, or limiting beliefs about your worth, ability, or potential. These are the invisible chains that have kept you moving in cycles of stagnation. By identifying them, you illuminate the path toward freedom. Start by noticing your thoughts. Many of the blocks you experience are subtle mental habits, repeated so often that they feel like truth. Thoughts like, "I am not enough," or "this is all I can have," are not facts. They are echoes of the old timeline, reinforced over time by self-doubt and external conditioning. Every time you accept these thoughts without question, you reinforce the pattern, feeding energy into a reality that no longer aligns with your highest self. Awareness is the first step toward liberation. When you observe these thoughts without attachment, you create a space for new beliefs and possibilities to emerge. Your emotions also serve as a map. Feelings of frustration, impatience, or anxiety often indicate that you are resisting the natural flow of life, that you are clinging to outdated beliefs and expectations. Pay attention to your emotional triggers. When someone criticizes you, when you face a setback, or when fear arises, ask yourself, is this a reflection of my true self, or is it the old timeline trying to pull me back into familiar patterns? Emotions are like signposts, pointing directly to the areas where the old self still exerts influence. By consciously engaging with them, you gain clarity about where you must release and transform. Energy patterns are another crucial indicator. The old timeline often feels heavy, stagnant, or constricted. You may notice tension in your body, fatigue, or a sense of being drained after certain activities or interactions. Conversely, moments that feel light, expansive, and inspired indicate alignment with the new timeline. By tuning into your energy, you begin to discern what belongs to the old self and what resonates with your emerging consciousness. This awareness is subtle but powerful, guiding you toward practices and actions that support your transformation. It is also important to recognize the stories you have told yourself. These narratives, often subconscious, shape your perception of reality. Stories like, "I will never be successful," or "I am destined to struggle," are not inherent truths, they are inherited constructs, imprinted by past experiences and societal conditioning. As long as you believe these stories, you remain bound to the old timeline. The process of shifting requires gently questioning and rewriting these narratives, replacing them with stories that empower, uplift, and reflect the reality you wish to create. In this section of your journey, contrast framing becomes a valuable tool. Compare the life you have been living with the life you sense is possible. Observe the stagnation, the missed opportunities, and the fear-based decisions of the old self. Then allow yourself to imagine the freedom, abundance, and alignment that come from releasing these patterns. This contrast is not meant to instill guilt or shame, it is meant to ignite awareness and motivation. By clearly seeing the difference, you create a magnetic pull toward the new timeline. Finally, understand that this recognition is not a one-time event. Patterns and blocks may resurface, sometimes subtly, sometimes in unexpected ways. Each observation is an opportunity to deepen your awareness, to practice discernment, and to consciously choose alignment over repetition. The old timeline dies not through force, but through consistent, gentle awareness and intentional release. Every thought you question, every emotion you feel without resistance, every story you rewrite strengthens the doorway to your new reality. As you continue this practice, you begin to cultivate a profound clarity about who you are and what you truly desire. The old patterns no longer hold the same power over you. With each recognition, each conscious choice, you step further away from stagnation and closer to the vibrational state that allows the new timeline to take form. Awareness becomes your compass, guiding you through the transition from the familiar to the extraordinary. The moment of conscious recognition is the moment the old timeline loosens its grip, and you prepare yourself to step fully into a reality that is aligned, expansive, and infused with possibility. The most profound moment in your journey is the moment of choice, the instant when the old timeline dissolves, and the new timeline begins to form around you. It is here that awareness becomes action and intention becomes creation. This is the threshold between the life you have known and the life you are meant to live. In this sacred space, you are invited to release fear, resistance, and old limitations, and to step fully into alignment with your highest self. The power of this moment lies not in external events, but in your conscious willingness to choose differently, to shift your energy, and to embody the reality you wish to experience. The old self will always resist. It clings to familiarity, predictability, and the perceived safety of the known. You may notice doubts rising, whispers of fear telling you that change is impossible, or that the new reality is too distant to reach. These are natural responses, not signs of failure. They are echoes of the old timeline, attempting to pull you back into patterns that no longer serve you. To move beyond them, you must anchor in the knowing that the universe supports your evolution, that your higher self has already aligned with the reality you are stepping into, and that every intention you hold is a seed for creation. The shift begins with intention. Clear, conscious intention acts as a beacon, guiding your energy toward the reality you wish to manifest. It is not merely wishing or hoping. It is the deep, unwavering choice to inhabit a new state of being. This requires clarity about what you truly desire, unclouded by old fears or societal expectations. Visualize the life you wish to live, feel it as though it already exists, and allow that feeling to permeate your entire being. Emotion is the bridge between thought and manifestation. By cultivating the vibration of your desired reality, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Simultaneously, release is essential. The moment of choice is as much about letting go as it is about stepping forward. Let go of doubt, scarcity, and limiting beliefs. Release attachment to outcomes, understanding that the universe often delivers in ways more expansive than you can imagine. When you release resistance, you create a space of openness and flow, allowing the new timeline to materialize without obstruction. Think of it as clearing a path through dense forest. Only when the obstacles are removed can the light reach the ground and new growth can emerge. Techniques for aligning with the new timeline are both practical and spiritual. Meditation, for instance, quiets the mind and allows you to tune into the frequency of your desired reality. Visualization strengthens neural pathways and trains your consciousness to embody the experience of your new life. Affirmations and mantras serve as energetic reinforcements, rewiring your subconscious mind to align with your intentions. Journaling can also be powerful. Writing as though your new reality has already arrived helps solidify your internal resonance with the outcome you are calling forth. Each practice is a tool to reinforce the choice you have made, turning awareness into lived experience. Energy alignment is another crucial component. Your vibration is the language through which the universe communicates, and the state of your energy determines the reality you attract. Begin to notice where your energy feels heavy, fragmented, or stuck, and gently guide it toward balance, openness, and joy. Practices like deep breathing, conscious movement, or connecting with nature can restore flow and attune you to the frequency of your desired reality. The moment of choice is not just mental. It is deeply felt in the body, heart, and soul. When all levels of your being resonate with your intention, the shift becomes effortless and natural. A key aspect of this transformation is embracing the feeling of already being the person you wish to become. Contrast the old self with the new self in vivid detail. The old self may have been fearful, reactive, or limited by conditioning. The new self is confident, expansive, and aligned with higher consciousness. Feel the subtle difference in energy. Notice how the body carries itself, how the mind perceives opportunities, how interactions with others feel lighter and more harmonious. By embodying this state now, you accelerate the manifestation of your desired reality. The universe responds to your vibration before it responds to your words or actions. Emotional hooks are critical in this moment. Feel the exhilaration of freedom, the peace of alignment, the joy of liberation from the constraints of the old timeline. Allow yourself to fully experience these emotions as if the shift has already occurred. This emotional engagement creates a magnetic field that draws the new reality toward you. Doubts may still arise, but each time you return to this elevated state, you reinforce the new vibration and weaken the influence of the old timeline. This is a practice of dedication and love for your own evolution. As you move deeper into the shift, understand that this is not a single event but a process. Every choice, every thought, every feeling contributes to the formation of your new reality. The moment of choice is the ignition point, but continuous alignment solidifies the shift. Consistency is key. When old patterns arise, observe them, acknowledge them, and gently return to your chosen vibration. Each time you consciously choose alignment over resistance, you strengthen the energetic foundation of the new timeline. Finally, trust in the intelligence of the universe. The moment of choice is sacred because it demonstrates your willingness to co-create with the infinite. You are not forcing reality, you are participating in a dance with the cosmos, flowing in harmony with its rhythms. The universe responds to clarity, emotion, and unwavering intention. By stepping into alignment with trust, love, and presence, you allow the new timeline to unfold effortlessly, guiding you toward experiences, opportunities, and growth that are far beyond what the old self could have imagined. In this sacred moment, you realize that the old timeline dies not with struggle, but with conscious choice, awareness, and love. You are no longer a passive participant in life but an active creator, capable of shaping reality through the alignment of mind, heart, and spirit. This is the transformative power of the moment of choice, a profound shift that sets the stage for living fully in the new timeline, fully embodied and fully free. Once the shift has occurred, the next step is to fully embody the new timeline. This is where the abstract becomes tangible, where intention transforms into lived reality. Embodiment is not a one-time event. It is a daily practice of aligning your thoughts, emotions, energy, and actions with the vibration of your highest self. To live in the new timeline means to carry the essence of your transformation into every aspect of your life, allowing the external world to reflect the internal shift. The first step in embodiment is integration. As you release the old patterns and step into alignment, you may notice residual traces of the past, the habits, fears, and stories that have followed you for years. Rather than resisting these remnants, gently acknowledge them, and consciously choose behaviors, thoughts, and emotions that reflect the new self. Integration is a process of reconciling your past experiences with your present alignment, transforming the energy of old wounds into lessons and wisdom. This allows you to move forward without dragging the weight of the old timeline behind you. Daily routines and practices play a crucial role in sustaining the new reality. Meditation, mindfulness, and energy practices help anchor you in the vibrational state of the new timeline. Start your day with intentionality, set your tone, focus on what you wish to experience, and visualize your desired reality as already existing. Throughout the day, pause to observe your thoughts and emotional responses, making conscious adjustments when necessary. When the old self attempts to resurface through doubt or fear, gently redirect your attention to alignment. Consistent practice strengthens the neural and energetic pathways that support your transformation, making your new reality feel natural and effortless over time. Another key element of embodiment is conscious action. Living the new timeline is not about passive waiting for the universe to deliver, it is about co-creating through inspired action. Opportunities, synchronicities, and guidance will arise, but it is your responsibility to engage with them. The actions you take should reflect the values, intentions, and energy of your new self. Whether in relationships, work, or personal growth, every choice becomes a mirror of the alignment you are cultivating internally. By acting from a place of empowerment rather than fear, you solidify the foundation of your new reality. Energy management remains central in this process. As you expand into the new timeline, pay attention to the environments, people, and activities that either enhance or drain your energy. Surround yourself with those who uplift, inspire, and support your highest expression. Engage in practices that cultivate joy, creativity, and flow. The old timeline often thrived on scarcity, comparison, and low-vibration influences. By intentionally curating your energy landscape, you reinforce the vibrational alignment of your new timeline and prevent old patterns from creeping back in. Emotional mastery is equally important. The new timeline requires a shift from reactive to responsive living. Rather than being driven by fear, ego, or habitual reactions, you begin to respond from a place of clarity, intuition, and love. Emotional mastery does not mean suppressing feelings, it means observing them, understanding their origins, and choosing how to act from a conscious state. By maintaining emotional alignment with your desires and intentions, you create a consistent vibrational signal that attracts experiences, relationships, and opportunities that resonate with your expanded self. The new timeline also calls for embracing abundance in all forms: physical, emotional, spiritual, and mental. The old self often operated under limitation, fear, and a sense of lack. The new self, however, operates from recognition of infinite possibility. Abundance is not solely about material wealth, it is about feeling rich in experience, connection, purpose, and presence. By adopting a mindset and energy of abundance, you magnetize experiences that mirror this reality, reinforcing the shift and expanding your capacity to receive. A subtle but powerful aspect of living the new timeline is the refinement of consciousness. You begin to notice patterns in yourself and others with greater clarity. You become attuned to synchronicities, signs, and guidance from the universe. Intuition deepens, allowing for decisions that are aligned with your highest path. By observing and trusting this inner guidance, you navigate life with a sense of ease, grace, and flow, no longer bound by the limitations of the old timeline. Contrast remains a vital tool in this phase as well. Periodically, reflect on the differences between the old self and the new self. The energy you feel, the relationships you nurture, the opportunities you attract, and the sense of inner peace that accompanies alignment. This reflection is not to judge the past, but to anchor the transformation more deeply. Every realization reinforces the vibrational shift, reminding you that the old timeline is behind you, and that your new reality is fully present, waiting to be lived. Finally, expansion is the natural result of embodiment. As you consistently live in alignment, you begin to attract experiences and opportunities that were previously unimaginable. Your consciousness grows, your confidence deepens, and your sense of purpose becomes clearer. The new timeline is not a static destination. It is a living, evolving reality shaped by your continued alignment, awareness, and inspired action. By sustaining the practices of integration, conscious action, energy management, and emotional mastery, you ensure that the shift is not temporary but permanent, allowing your life to continually expand into higher states of being. Living the new timeline is a profound invitation to honor the transformation within, to embody your highest self, and to allow every moment to reflect the vibrational reality you have consciously chosen. It is a life of intentionality, presence, and alignment, where every thought, feeling, and action contributes to a reality that resonates with the deepest expression of your soul. This is the art of embodiment and expansion, a sacred practice that transforms not just your circumstances, but your very experience of life itself. As the echoes of your old timeline fade into silence, you stand in the sacred stillness that follows transformation. It is here, in the space between what was and what is becoming, that true creation begins. You are no longer who you once were. The doubts, the fears, the limiting beliefs that once defined your path are dissolving, gently falling away like mist under the morning sun. What remains is pure potential, a new vibration that hums quietly beneath your awareness, waiting for your conscious embrace. This is the threshold moment, the quiet birth of your new reality. The universe has been waiting for your signal, and that signal is your decision to align. Feel this deeply. The universe does not respond to words or wishes alone. It responds to frequency, to vibration, to energy. The moment you chose to release the old self, you sent a powerful message into the quantum field, an energetic declaration that you are ready to live from your highest truth. Every cell in your body, every pulse of your energy, now vibrates with the frequency of that choice. Living in this new vibration requires gentle devotion. It is not about perfection, it is about presence. Some days, the echoes of your old timeline may still call out to you, whispering the familiar songs of fear, scarcity, or self-doubt. When this happens, do not resist them. Instead, smile softly, for their presence only means you are aware enough to see them. Awareness is mastery. The very act of observing an old pattern without falling into it weakens its hold. Each time you return to your center, to the vibration of peace, love, and alignment, you reinforce the new timeline, anchoring it more deeply into your lived experience. Gratitude becomes your anchor here. Gratitude for the lessons that shaped you, for the challenges that refined you, for the courage that brought you to this moment. Gratitude transforms resistance into flow and scarcity into abundance. It opens your heart, softens your energy, and reminds you that everything you have experienced, every detour, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt, was guiding you here. The old timeline was never your enemy, it was your teacher. It existed so that you could awaken to this truth: you are not your past, you are your potential. Now you are invited to live intentionally. The new timeline does not demand constant effort, it invites conscious participation. It asks that you wake each morning and remember who you truly are: a creator, a bridge between energy and matter, spirit and form. When you walk through your day, bring awareness to every thought, word, and action. Ask yourself gently, is this in alignment with who I am becoming? This question, when asked with honesty, becomes your compass, guiding you to choices that reflect your highest vibration. In moments of uncertainty, return to stillness. Sit quietly. Feel your breath. Let your awareness rest in the present moment, for that is where your power resides. The future is not something that happens to you, it is something that unfolds from you. The more you dwell in peace, gratitude, and alignment, the more effortlessly your new reality arranges itself around you. The external world begins to reflect your internal frequency, and the experiences you attract start to mirror the love, abundance, and freedom that you now embody. And remember, the new timeline is not a static destination. It is alive, dynamic, and responsive. It expands with you. Each act of kindness, each moment of courage, Each expression of authenticity ripples through the field of infinite potential, shaping reality in ways beyond what the old self could comprehend. You are co-creating with the universe now, not through control but through resonance. You no longer chase manifestations, you magnetize them by becoming the embodiment of what you desire. Trust this process. Trust yourself. Trust that every step forward is guided, even when the path seems unclear. The universe speaks in subtle ways, through intuition, synchronicities, and the quiet knowing that arises when your heart and soul are in agreement. The more you trust, the more you see how effortlessly life supports you when you align with its flow. So breathe deeply and take this moment to feel the truth of who you have become. The old self has dissolved. The old fears no longer define you. You are standing in the light of a new frequency, surrounded by infinite possibility. Every heartbeat now echoes the vibration of creation itself, and every breath is a declaration of your alignment. Your timeline awaits, alive, vibrant, and ready to unfold through you. Step into it fully without hesitation or doubt. Step into it with grace, with faith, and with love. The universe has heard your call. The old timeline has died. The new one begins here, in this breath, in this awareness, in this eternal now. You are free. You are aligned. You are home.